Okay, thank you for joining me. I just got this box, and you're not going to believe this. I'm seeing all brilliant uncirculated. Ooh. Finger shaking. Don't know if this is all 2024, 2025, 2021. Don't know. I can tell they're shield scents, but they're all brilliant uncirculated. Going to open it up and see what we got. Alright, we got this open, and there's something I'm noticing. Haven't gotten this open. If you look at these two, you got this end, you got this end. So these came from two different runs, were put in the same box. So, it remains to be seen what exactly I do have here. Because maybe it's great, and maybe it's crap. Oh, let's see here. That looks like a 2024 Denver. But that begs the question, are they all 2024 Denvers, or are they a mix? Is that 2024 Denver and that 2025 Denver? I don't know, but it seems this box was held for a while in storage before getting shipped out to the bank. We'll see how this shakes out. I'll let you know if I find anything really special. Okay, so I'm looking at the first roll. I have not looked the year, but it is 100% all brilliant uncirculated. So what I might do is just go through this roll and save the rest. Either sell them as is for collectors, or go through another roll of a different wrapper and see what I've got there. But let's see. What year is on that? 2024 Denver. Okay. Well, it's not 2025, but kind of hard to find these in this kind of condition, eh? I'll go through these and see if there's anything to look for. Any errors, varieties that may make this box worth so much more than just simple uncirculated 2024 Denver Mint. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm not sure if you see this. What I'm seeing, very first scent I pulled to check. I'm going to zoom in. That looks an awful lot like a double die. And this is the other set of initials. They look like they have a little bit of doubling as well. Alright, so this is as close as I can get it. It looks a bit like doubling. Let me go to the other side. Adjust that a little bit. I am not entirely sure. On some level, it looks like a double die. Like you can see the outline of the other J right there, and then the J right there. But can't quite tell if that is die deterioration or legitimate doubling. Because at the same time, when it happens to fade out, it does look a little fat, but and you can see JFM, but it doesn't look nearly as defined as it is on a normal scent. Let me see if I've got one up here to compare it. Another scent, just for comparison. That's how it's supposed to look. That is normal. But this 2024 yeah, I'm leaning towards dye deterioration doubling. Basically means the dyes were pretty worn out when this was struck. Yeah, I'm leaning towards dye deterioration because if it was actually double struck, it wouldn't just be that one area. It should be the entire coin. And this part of the R in E pluribus on the back, which is incused, if it were a double dye reverse, there'd be a dip where this cross section is on the R. It would go straight down like that and then back over if it were a double dye, which I'm not seeing on the reverse at all. And now we're looking at the date. See if there's anything unusual. Does not appear to be anything unusual. Zoom in on that S there for a moment. That almost looks like notching, like separation. Try just in a little more. There is something going on there, but I can't quite tell what. So let's see if there's anything else that's more obvious around the coin. Sometimes on doubling there is like a little extra right here around the earlobe, but this looks normal. Wait a minute. Does that look normal? Try to turn the lights down a little bit if I can. What the hell? Maybe I've been looking at it since too long, and I'm seeing things where I'm not supposed to see them. Okay, let's check under this, under the lighter light, dimmer light. I just don't know. It looks like dye deterioration, but it also looks like doubling. I'm going to look through the others and see if there's anything similar. If there is, I'll make a note of it at the end. But if there happens to be anything really different, really wild, I'll bring it back. See you soon. Okay, so I found a second one in that roll. It appears to have a little extra with the ear. I don't know what double die variety this might be, but it is most definitely a variety. Because I shift the light, shift it around, and it's still there. There's still that extra little bit of a lip there. So keep my eyes peeled. Okay, so I went through one of these rolls that were in that box. Now I'm going to go for this one. See if it is a different year, different mint mark. Actually, it looks like there's a D on there. But I'm going to see if there's any difference between this roll and this liner for a roll. Stay tuned. Okay, so these ones are also BU rolls. So there doesn't appear to be any distinction between the two distinct wrappers that were in this box. It's the first time I've ever seen two different wrappers in one box. But yeah, sometimes coin roll hunting is screwy. I'll let you know if I find anything. So this roll has had less die deterioration, but it has had more over polishing of the dies. You notice there's a lack of detail and the lateral lines there on the reverse of this cent. That is over polishing. Usually that happens if there happens to be a die clash or something else that was needing to be worn away. So I'll be looking at that specific area to see if maybe whatever they wiped away was still on some of these cents before the maintenance on the die. Stay tuned. Alright, so the only distinction I could find between these two is this style had a lot more die deterioration. Basically, it made everything get a little bit more mushy, where it was kind of hazy. This one, there were a lot more overly polished coins, but everything looked a lot better than they did in this one. That's the only distinction. Looking online, what we got here? We got 6 rolls, 2024 for $20 or best offer. But that right there is for Philadelphia Mint. Let's see what this is. Someone is asking $199 for 1 roll of P and 1 roll of D, placing each roll at $100. Yeah, fat chance of that getting bought. This one, more reasonable. 2 rolls of Denver Mint Shield Cents from 2024, $16.99 and free delivery. That is real or more realistic for these. You got one here selling it for $6.95, but they're charging $5.25 in shipping. So you're essentially paying $12 for 1 roll versus up here where you're buying 2 rolls for $16.99. And you got this one that is just in a plastic tube. Word device. If you buy that, you won't be able to get the roll out without destroying the tube. Found that out the hard way. One single solitary Denver Mint 2024 cent. They're asking $3.95 and $4.99 for shipping. Correction, that's a roll. So, yeah. That seems fair. That seems reasonable in today's market. But the $4.99 delivered, that is a little steep. So basically you see here, you get various amounts, but everything seems to point to, while you might be able to get these two for $16.99, and that may seem a little high, and this one $6.95 for one roll. The shipping on these makes it so that in the end, this set of two for $16.99 will be your most economical source. So, yeah, today they're not worth a whole lot, but they don't eat anything, and I've still got another 30 years before retirement. So, these will probably be stowed away someplace, and in the end, maybe they'll be worth something. Maybe they'll just continue being worth just this. Only time will tell. Happy hunting.